What up, gang? This is KenZerk, KenZerk, SIIIINGG, the villain fellow Trilligan, and we are back on Umineko no Nakukoro ni Rondo of the Witch and Reasoning. Woo! It's been a while since I last uploaded this, and it's been a while since I last played this. But we're getting back on it now. Man, I'm so excited. If I remember correctly, what happened last time was... I forget the characters' names actually, damn it. But, George's girlfriend, she made a deal with the witch, and she ended up being able to date George and shit like that, right? And she was bragging about it to Jessica, or they were talking and shit, right? And then Jessica ended up getting kind of jealous and really upset about it because of, I think, like, what I assume, if I remember correctly, or at least my assumptions at the time, I think she gets teased a lot for not being in a relationship or not having anybody. I think she gets teased a lot for that, and it kind of gets under her skin. And on top of that, she actually does like, I'm pretty sure, Kanon, but that's just a very weird kind of situation. Not to mention her parents are always on her ass, so I guess she just got really jealous and upset and lost control and shit at the moment. And if I remember correctly, the chapter actually starts back up with Jessica. Yeah. This, or right here, whatever this is. Let's get back into it. I'm so hyped. I'm so hyped. I'm so hyped. I'm so hyped. The biggest fall event for the Ushiramiya family was the family conference in October. But to Jessica, there was another major event that came before that, the school cultural festival. Jessica liked school. To her, it was a place where she could let out the stress she'd built up from the rigid lifestyle she was forced to lead at home. I forgot my notepad. For the day's cultural festival, she formed a group with her friends and had announced that they performed some light music on a temporary stage. She had prepared and practiced for this over and over until the day, always anxiously awaiting the day's arrival. But there was one thing that worried her. She looked at the clock. There was still a little time, but she felt uneasy. Would that person really come? After taking a single deep breath, her heart jumped when all her friends suddenly started speaking in shrill voices. No way! Hina's boyfriend is so awesome! Isn't he? Isn't he? Rin's boyfriend looks really smart. Is it true that that guy's a glasses beast? Is it true that guy's a glasses beast? No way, no way. My husband will be a pretty boy. It may not be like this for all girls, but at least at Jessica's school, the cultural festival was basically a boyfriend exhibition. Jessica didn't have a boyfriend. Jessica didn't have a boyfriend. She was sad and lonely. She had many friends of the opposite sex, but no special only one. But Jessica was a little famous around the school, and everyone thought it'd be natural for her to have a fitting partner. Furthermore, her pride had led her to pretend that this was true. Dang. She'd somehow managed to keep them fooled until this year. But for various reasons, she hadn't been able to escape this year's culture festival. Jessie, is your boyfriend here? Whoa! Look at that uniform. What? No. Looks like he's not here yet. Maybe he's busy with work? So what kind of person is he, Jessie? At least give us a hint. What kind of relationship? What kind of relationship? Awesome! So he's a working man? Will he come in a suit? Of course he'll be wearing glasses, right? Hey, he actually doesn't exist, right? If you come clean now, we'll let you join us. Let's cry together through this year's cultural festival. Wham, wham, wham. Okay, move on, move on. There we go. No. He exists. I told you, he really exists. He's just like Beatrice. He exists. That might be a parallel. Hold on. Are they trying to do something with that? Nah. Jessica's bitter smile was covered with a cold sweat. It was starting to seem doubtful whether she had actually deceived her sharp-witted friends. I doubt it. Okay.
Hi.
Hey, Shauna. Dawg. I'm sorry. Okay. Then how about making a fake boyfriend and taking him with you? A fake? Who? I can't think of anyone who'd do that. Shauna's ridiculous plan surprised Jessica into hysterics. Even so, it was probably more realistic than the crazy methods running through her head about getting a boyfriend in the big rush before the cultural festival. For example, what about Kanon? No way, no way! Anyway, I'm sure Kanon has work on the day of the festival. And I don't want to bother him. Of course, I've already checked the schedule. Kanon has that day off. Why are you always so clever when it comes to stuff like this? No, wait! It'd be even worse if he's off! I can't pull him away from a precious day off for my own vanity! If you don't pull Kanon away, he'll always be shut away by himself. So I think it'd be perfect if you could drag him out of his shell. You think so? No, but I feel bad for him. And I guess you're out of options. You better go come clean, tell everybody you got no hoes. How about meekly confessing to everyone that you don't have a boyfriend? True, it may be terribly embarrassing, but you'd only have to endure for a short and yet long time before graduation. To a pair of lovers, there's no sweeter honey than the face of a single person with an inferiority complex. Dang. With the star at the end too, she knows what she's doing. She agrees with that. She feels that. They said it in the first chapter, her and George, when they was out in public, they was flirting just to show off. She done pulled a blade? What's going on? You aren't really worried for my sake, are you? You're teasing me, right? Oh. Jessica wrestled about with Shauna, her eyes teary. But Shauna was unfazed, laughing with her usual smile. Yes. This is to get back at you for making fun of me and George all the time. Listening to Shauna's comeback, the likes of which didn't happen even once a year, Jessica hugged her cushion and rolled around on her bed pretending to faint in agony. She couldn't stand Shauna's smile, which looked so triumphant. But right now, she was the only person Jessica could talk to. She could choke her to death with the cushion later. Wow, Jessica, calm down. Is it really so bad, milady? It's a cultural festival, but it's also a chance for you to have fun with Kanon. No, that may be true, but... No. Jessica buried her head in her favorite pillow to hide the fact that her face had grown bright red. And she grumpily chewed the fingernail on her thumb. That's how they be doing it in the animes. They'd be like... It really was a reaction to be appreciated. Shauna and Jessica were of about the same age, of the same sex, and friends. And they were both right in the middle of puberty. They could never talk enough about love. That's why they could talk freely about these topics to each other. So Jessica had heard a lot about how Shauna and George's love was progressing. And Shauna had heard a lot about what type Jessica liked, what kind of man she might be interested in. Judging by Jessica's reaction, it'd probably be rude for us to go into precisely what these things were. However, this story won't get anywhere if we just have Jessica rolling around forever, so let's dive in. Jessica had been thinking about Kanon ever since he showed up. It was extremely rare for a young man to visit Rockinjima, so maybe it was natural for Jessica, a girl in puberty, to develop an interest in Kanon. But if anyone said that, it would destroy the romantic ideals of a maiden's pure heart and love at first sight. Shannon had been with Kanon a long time at the orphanage, so she'd known him since before they started working. So Jessica had asked persistently about what his hobbies were, what his favorite food was, what type of girl he liked. Even to Shannon, it was clear that Jessica was infatuated with Kanon. Come on! Isn't this a good chance to take Kanon on a date? But Kanon might also have someone he likes, so wouldn't he take it badly if I made him go with me just to show off? People who aren't honest with themselves like you are... What was the word I learned from George? That's right, I think it was Sundora. Apparently they'll be all the rage in a decade or so. Wow, George sir is incredible. Managing to foresee future trends like that. Awesome. No, wait! Are you saying I'm living in the wrong decade? Beat her up, Jessica! Beat her up! I give up! That's not what I said to do. I said beat her up, not what are you doing? It took several days of wasted efforts, but in the end, Jessica agreed to the plan of having Kanon pretend to be her boyfriend. Nice! Isn't that sweet? And Kanon's gonna hate every second of being with her. He already looked mad. In his head, he like, man, this damn bitch making me go with her. I swear if I get a blick, I'm tearing this whole place up. Yes, milady. Did you call for me? Jessica regretted calling out at such a bad time. Kanon always looked sullen, but he had some bad days and some better days. Unfortunately, this reaction was the former. No, well... All that confidence and effort she built up practicing in front of a mirror all night was wiped out in about 5 seconds. Jessica turned bright red and hung her head. When he saw that, Kanon sighed. Jessica thought he was exasperated with her and her face went pale. I heard from Shannon. This is about having me go with you to the school cultural festival, right, milady? Huh? Nice one, Shannon! I mean... Yeah! That's right, but do you have any plans that day? I was strictly ordered by Shannon to work specially for you on that day, milady. I've never been to high school, so I don't really understand. But I hear it's a place where girls can be shamed if they don't have a boy with them. And I was given special orders to see to it that the daughter of the Ushiramiya family is in no way inferior to the common people. Wow. Shannon, I'll beat you to death later! Jessica kept yelling with a strange voice and a broken smile, like a tea kettle filled with boiling water. As Kanon watched this, he sighed again. He already sick of her. Kanon wasn't an idiot either. He fully understood what Jessica intended by inviting him. But to be honest, playing along with Jessica's love game seemed like it'd be nothing more than an annoyance to him. However, Shannon had asked him over and over. He was deeply indebted to her, so he couldn't refuse. And that brooch was in his pocket. Could this strange turn of events been brought about by the magic power residing in this brooch? Ridiculous. But he remembered what Shannon had said to him that day. Could Shannon see something he couldn't? I don't understand Shannon's feelings. We are furniture. As if we could ever become anything more. It was a truly odd exchange between Jessica, who was still rambling on in a strange voice, and Kanon, who sighed deeply. And it fades to monochrome. Jessie, someone's here! Didn't you hear? Huh? Sorry. Who is it? As my friends all gathered together, they were looking this way with hard-to-describe expressions, whispering to each other in small voices that weren't small anymore. My attempt to play dumb felt pretty transparent even to me. Did I really just say sorry? Who is it? Like I don't know who just showed up? Ah, it's useless, it's useless, my mind's going blank! Look at that boy! Oh my goodness, he all spiffed up, he looking good, look at him! Look at him, oh my goodness, look at him. No way, that's Jesse's boyfriend? He's so cute! Wait, he's real? No way, seriously? Jessica, you traitor! He's incredible! He's younger? I never heard he was younger! Where? Where Jesse's boyfriend? She's really into little kids? That's crazy. Hey! Aren't you late? I didn't know where the entrance was. I must apologize for my tardiness. Right, that outfit looks really good on you. Shannon said normal clothes wouldn't do, so I went and bought this the other day. If it looks strange on me. That's not true! Shannon, when I get back, I'll promote you 2 levels! Feels like everyone here is a girl. It's uncomfortable. Yeah, isn't it? Come on, let's not hang around here. Let's go to the stage, okay? Cause I'll be up pretty soon. Come on. Jessica seemed just as uncomfortable. It looks like being bathed in everyone's interested gazes was hard on her. When he saw Jessica's appearance, Kanon thought he might have made things difficult for her by coming. I get the feeling I'm getting in the way. Am I being a burden? I told you, no way! Please, tell me at any time if I start getting in the way. I don't know what that means. Hey, there's no way you get in the way, Kanon. God, she calls her boyfriend Kun. What would you like me to do, milady? No way! She makes him call her milady like a butler! OMG! Oh, you can't call me milady today! Is that so? As you wish, Jessica-sama. Ah, she's trying to call her Sama! My goodness, this is disgusting! Sorry, Kanon. Could you close your eyes just for 3 seconds? Ah, a kiss! It's a kiss! She's gonna kiss him! Somebody died. As you wish. Bang! Thunk! Bam bam! Slam! Crash! Crackle! What the crackle and boom. By the time Kanon opened his eyes, a horrible tragedy had occurred in the room. Everyone had been driven into the walls, their arms and legs outstretched. Jessica had slipped her brass knuckles back into her pocket before Kanon's eyes opened. Anyway, let's go over to the stage. Our turn's coming up soon, so let's take a seat and wait a bit. Cause we've got to get ready. Go straight to the end here, you'll see a temporary stage. You'll know where to go. Please, wait there. She pushed Kanon's back, as he seemed to be having trouble moving himself, and chased him out. Even though Kanon was confused by Jessica's attitude and her panicky state, which he'd never seen before, he followed her instructions and headed in the direction she had indicated. After seeing him off with an awkward smile, Jessica slammed the door shut and yelled loudly. There you go, you saw, right? You saw that. Are you happy now? Sucks for you! I lost the bet. I was sure Jessie didn't have a boyfriend. Are you sure that was her boyfriend? I bet she's just abusing one of her servants, right? Ah, Jessie's boyfriend is incredible. Just shut up. Come on, let's get ready. When Jessica took the brass knuckles out of her pocket again, everyone energetically returned to their tasks. Dang, she's with it! Oh my goodness! Don't let her out, she's gonna terrorize the streets! Kanon went down the corridor Jessica had shown him, and ran into a temporary stage where the vending machine should have been. It was probably being rented by the hour by some grouper. The ones singing were student groups, but the crowd was still incredibly excited. Disliking that clatter, he leaned against the wall in the darkness by himself. So this is what they call high school. It sure is noisy. That's what Kanon thought. Then he remembered Jessica just now acting in a way that he'd never seen before. Honestly, she was in such high spirits that alcohol might have been involved. To him, remaining composed and intellectual at all times was the highest virtue. In that sense, it was very hard for Kanon to get used to the atmosphere of a school cultural festival. He had a responsibility to report everything he saw and heard to the master. So he also had to report about how Jessica had acted without restraint earlier. At the very least, it was not fitting for the daughter of the Ushiramiya head family. The master Kraus, and especially Natsuhi-sama, will probably be angry. If I'm reported in a way that protects my lady, should I blame it on inappropriate school friends? What was all that? So stupid. Kanon thought back on how Jessica had acted earlier and sighed again. He could understand Natsuhi's headache a little now. Come to think of it, Natsuhi as the president of the PTA was supposed to go to an informal gathering after attending the ceremony in the gymnasium. She said she wouldn't be able to see my lady's performance, didn't she? That's probably for the best. Crowds certainly are unpleasant. What in the world is going on? Several female students keep glancing at me. It seems they're all whispering the same things my lady's school friends said, and it's truly unpleasant. Come to think of it, didn't Shannon warn me? If you walk alone at something like a school festival, you'd better watch out because a lot of strange people will come and talk to you. Excuse me, are you by yourself? Just as expected, a group of girls I never met started talking to me. Their stare started to make my back tingle. Didn't she tell me some magic words that could chase them off in times like this? Sorry. I'm with someone. Oh, really? I'm sorry. Ah, it worked. Instant reaction. Well, that got rid of them, but it hasn't really changed the number of people staring at me. No, it's that kid. That's Jessie's boyfriend. No way. It's that kid? I can't believe it. I was sure he was a fake. Isn't he cute? So he's younger? Lucky Jessie. There's no way I'll ever come to a place like this again. Kanon sighed for about the zillionth time that day. When he did, the lighting changed and the standing audience started cheering. He looked around and realized there was suddenly a large group of people there. And unlike earlier, they were mostly guys. With this huge crowd, he couldn't even see the stage. Fortunately, there was a fallen beer case nearby, so he tried using that as a footstool. When he did, he realized that there was now a new group on the stage. Their leader was Milady. She's changed into stage clothes and she's even holding a guitar. I didn't know she could play. Then again, maybe she can play. I've seen her practicing air guitar before. Natsuhi wouldn't approve of any hobbies outside of study. Maybe she was always practicing in secret. Come to think of it, she's been returning really late from school recently, hasn't she? Maybe she's been practicing at school, far away from Natsuhi's prying eyes. It really is for the best that Natsuhi didn't come. If my lady were to get scolded by Natsuhi after putting so many hours of practice in, she'd probably be dejected. Aw, that's cute, look at him worrying about her. Was that an explosion? What happened? Everyone! Thanks for gathering here today! I can hear Jessica's forceful voice through the speakers. Jessie-sama. Maybe that's her nickname at school. The students in the audience kept calling out that name. I'm a little offended by that crude name. It's inappropriate for a lady. Jessica was in high spirits as they kept shouting Jessie-sama. Everyone here was probably a fan. Her mic performance picked up on that and electrified them even more. It was almost like a music program on TV. At first he thought this was all silly, but that feeling had changed into appreciation. It was incredible in its own way. Kanon never listened to music of his own free will, but he'd often heard the kind of music the Yoshiramiya family liked. Since it was almost all classical, Kanon had naturally taken a liking to that kind of music. So to Kanon, the song Jessica sang was, how should you say it, extremely colorful. In any case, if Natsuhi heard it, she'd probably faint. I want to hear the song. I want to hear this. Woo! Titled Sudu Patan. Hidden? Okay. Is this the fastest rapper from the Midwest? Hold on. Petan, Suda Pet. Fuck you. Sudu Petan. Hold on. I don't know what the fuck she's saying. Shit go hard. But everyone looked like they were having a really good time. Some die-hard fans who even brought pin lights sang along and danced crazily with the same movements, almost as though it had been planned ahead. On the stage, Jessica also sang enthusiastically, dripping with sweat. He couldn't find a single element that was appropriate for a daughter of the Yoshiramiya family, but it looked like so much fun. Again today, behind me, the sound of footsteps. Oyashiro. Oyashiro! What does Oyashiro have to do with this? Oyashiro is stalking me. Curses, disappearances, sacrifices, torture. Onikakushi, does that make a good snack? Don't say Marisa! What are we talking about? Why did you suddenly start with the higurashi references and then Marisa? Is that Toho? I must not go along with it, but at any rate, Milady is full of life and looks like she's having a great time. As I watched Milady enjoying herself, I thought, could this be Yoshiramiya Jessica's true nature? Don't I know better than anyone that during her life on Rockinjima, she's had no choice but to kill her sense of self? So the time she spends not as Milady, successor to the Yoshiramiya family, but as a single girl called Jessica living life to the fullest must be very important to her. I've worked close to Milady, seeing her in all seasons, and thought I knew everything about her. But that was all limited to one side of her, Milady of Rockinjima. We are furniture. We serve on Rockinjima and end our lives on Rockinjima. So I've come to think of Rockinjima itself as our whole world. As though like in Ptolemaic. What the fuck is that? Holy shit. Okay, before anything, I need to hear this. We're gonna figure out how to say it. We're about to figure out how to say it.
Ptolemaic. 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 Ptolemaic.
Ptolemaic.
Ptolemaic.
Ptolemaic. Okay, Ptolemaic. That's how you say it. So Ptolemaic theory. What is the Ptolemaic theory? The Ptolemaic system, formulated by Ptolemy around 150 CE, is a geometric model of the universe that places Earth at the center. It posits that the sun, moon, and planets all revolve around Earth in complex patterns. Oh, okay. So he's saying that, like, because the same way at the time they believed that because we lived on Earth, everything revolved around Earth. He's saying because he lives on Rockinjima, he believed that everything revolved around Rockinjima, and there was nothing outside of that truly mattered. That's why he's saying like the Ptolemaic theory. Okay. The ocean spilled off the end of the world into the abyss. But when I look at Milady like this, I can see how horribly narrow that outlook is. I still can't go along with the excitement of the crowd, but I feel like I can see something that cannot be seen on Rockinjima. I'm not sure if this is the unseeable thing Shauna was talking about, but the ocean still doesn't look blue to me. End of the chapter. No. The fucking grass. I missed the breaking glass, honestly. I missed the breaking glass. Somebody tell those fucking Umineko to shut the fuck up. Wasn't the culture festival at Jessica's school today? How's the principal doing? He seemed to be in good health. That's right. Guy member Takamiya was also there. He said to give you his regards. Busy as usual. It appeared so. That person is also very energetic. Oh, and I believe President Emato also made an appearance. Naturally, the topic of Jessica's culture festival came up at dinner. School events often became social gatherings for local volunteers. It was the same for the Oshiramiya family, who were celebrities around here. Natsuhi remembered the name of one VIP after another at the social gathering, telling Krause the news about them. Jessica didn't really have any interest in that discussion and rudely slurped her pumpkin soup. Milady, perhaps you ought to take more care with your manners. Shut the fuck up, nigga! Don't tell me I ought to eat my pumpkin soup! Bitch. Yeah, sorry about that. Jessica. How many times must I tell you to watch your language? Yes, ma'am. Jessica answered discouraged. When he saw that, Krause smiled a little and paused his conversation with Natsuhi. How was the festival for you, Jessica? Huh? Well, it was okay. I was watching. You did an excellent job. Huh? Well... Jessica's face turned bright red. She probably hadn't imagined that Natsuhi would actually come to see her on stage. She felt a mix of happiness and embarrassment. That's so sweet! Oh my goodness, we need moments like this, man. It's always like that and this and sad and just discouraging. We need more moments where Natsuhi's just like being like this with her daughter, man. I need to see more of that. Actually, she hadn't really wanted her mother to watch, since she didn't want to be told that her music was inappropriate for the Oshiramiya family. But it certainly didn't make her unhappy to hear her parents say she'd done a good job after watching her try her best. Jessica acted with both composure and dignity, fitting behavior for the student's representative. Oh. Yeah. That smile that had been there until a second ago crumbled like sand. Jessica immediately realized that her mom was talking about something different. Oh. Yeah, well, fuck me. Fuck me. Jessica was also the school's student president. She had no interest in doing something so annoying, but her parents had been pushy, so she grudgingly accepted. Unfortunately, she was popular at school, so she won the election easily. So Natsuhi was praising her for the student council sponsorship ceremony at the beginning of the cultural festival. Actually, she had just carried that out half-heartedly. After that, she immediately met up with her friends and held a stage rehearsal for the rest of the time.
人の上に立ち責任を背負うという経験は必ず将来役に立つ
There's a hole in my pants, right? And I stuck my hand through the hole, and I'm using my mouse like that now. That experience of standing above people and bearing responsibility will surely prove useful in the future.
後ろ宮家の人間と
I'm
して
sure it will help Jessica mature as a member of the Ushiramiya family.
ただ挨拶が
But you rushed a little while giving the greeting.
内容は旧大
You get a pass on content, but the fast pace of your speech lessens the impact.
一呼吸置く
It might help if you develop the habit of pausing every once in a while. Yeah. Damn. Well, now I'm sad. Natsuhi, please, see the light. See the light, please. Your daughter, please. That's your daughter, please. See the light. I'm begging you. I'm begging you. After she finished eating, Jessica didn't feel like going straight to her room. Her room was basically the place her parents had ordered her to be. So perhaps for Jessica, instead of returning to her room, being in an unknown location in this large mansion was a meager form of resistance. Jessica felt that even being in the mansion made it hard to breathe, so she went outside to the rose garden. Well, even if she did show up, I'm sure she would have said something about how it wasn't appropriate for the successor of an Ushiramiya family. So isn't it better this way? Jessica laughed at what she was sulking over. She laughed at what kind of words she could have possibly been expecting. That was dumb of me. In the end, I was just acting like an entitled brat. That's when it's at the worst, man. When you get to a point where you're laughing at your own expectations and sadness, like that's how you know like you've just given up. Like you've lost all hope. There's no point in even believing in the possibility anymore. She's completely lost all hope that her parents will actually like give a fuck about her. That's depressing. I'm a little exasperated with myself and it makes me want to laugh. Why do they keep switching the perspective? That's starting to kind of not bug me, but it's tripping me up a bit. I'm a little exasperated with myself and it makes me want to laugh.
お嬢様
Milady. Don't scare me like that. Oh shit, that asthma. She said she was about to force a laugh. Kanon suddenly started talking to her and she choked.
何
What's up?
なんかよ
Got something to say?
その
Yes? Jessica's expression became the one she always wore when looking at Kanon. The listless Jessica from a second ago was gone. If he had still only known Jessica as the eventual successor to the Ushiramiya family as he had until yesterday, he might have mistakenly thought that Jessica's mood had sprung back to normal. But that wasn't right. He now knew a part of her that he couldn't have seen until yesterday. So he understood that there was no way Jessica actually felt the way she appeared.
今日は
Oh, about today's culture festival.
いや
Well, thanks for coming with me so I could show off.
助かったぜ
You saved my butt out there.
お歌
That song.
お上手でした
You were really good.
え
What? Really? You're embarrassing me. Even though she had heard the words she most wanted to hear, Jessica acted shyly and couldn't accept them openly.
僕には歌は歌えませ
I
ん
cannot sing,
楽器も
and I don't know how to play any instruments other than the harmonica and the
講談もしか
recorder,
知りません
which I learned in elementary school.
だから
So I simply assumed you were the same,
気をつけて
milady.
いました
At the time, Kanon had never felt as though he'd been looking down on Jessica in this way. But all the people he'd seen playing special instruments were on the other side of the brown tubes in the TV. At the very least, he'd been under the impression that it'd be impossible for Jessica.
僕は家具だか
I am furniture,
ら歌を歌う必
so I didn't believe there was any need to
楽
sing
器
or
を
play
扱う必要
instruments.
もないと信じてきました
But I'm not sure anymore.
カノン君
Seriously, Kanon,
その家
Even enough with that furniture business. That's like a proper attitude you servants are supposed to have, right? Servants are supposed to be living like furniture? Genji says it a lot. It isn't just a proper attitude, because we really are furniture. I know the kids from the Fukuin house receive assistance from grandfather in various ways. I realize how grateful you are for that. But it's a bit cruel for you to have to call yourself furniture just because of that. We're all human, aren't we? Kanon, when you saw me singing, what did you think? It looked like you were having a lot of fun. I don't think that's true. You didn't just think it looked fun. You were envious, weren't you? That's not... Kanon probably hadn't noticed that emotion himself. Most likely, Kanon saw something he'd never seen before, learned about it for the first time, and felt envious. And to trick himself out of that emotion, he called himself furniture over and over. I know I'm a successor to the Higurashi family or whatever. And well, I'm sure there'll be a lot of annoying stuff to do from now on. As far as that goes, I can't do anything but give up since I was born under an unlucky star. Probably just like you had to live at the Fukuin house. I don't have a choice either. I couldn't choose the stars under which I was born. That may be true. But there's one place where you and I are completely different. Know what that is? I am furniture and my lady is not. He was about to say that but stopped. I do not know. Kanon, you decided that your fate determines everything about you and you gave up. But I can't accept this kind of fate, so I do the best that I can. So while there's still the rigid and cornered me that's gotta stay as the daughter of the Higurashi family, I've created another me that can do what the hell I want to do, what I like to do to the fullest. Another you. That's a persona. Yeah. Kanon, you've been instructed to say because I'm furniture. I'm sure you've gone through a lot of tough times just because of that. I think that's really unfortunate. But the idea that your entire life will be decided by that alone just seems sad to me. You know, it's always possible for people to create another self inside them. A self that the self that they can truly grow to like. I'm not talking about escaping from reality, okay? When I'm that other self, I can really feel like I'm living a great life. So no matter how constrained and boring everyday life gets to be, I can always live on without suffocating. To make another self inside yourself that you can truly grow to like. To make another me, one that isn't furniture. Through her relationship with George, has Shannon given birth to another self that isn't furniture? And did this other Shannon see something that cannot be seen by furniture? That's right. Well, I don't know anything about your private life, Kanon, but I can sorta guess. Your private life probably doesn't exist at all. Am I right? Kanon couldn't reply, but that was answer enough. He had no concept of a private life. So Kanon would always be Kanon. So furniture would always be furniture. Kanon. Kanon isn't your real name, right? In the Fukuin house, new graduates would be given new families and a new life, so they were also given a new name. In his case, that was Kanon. Certainly, this name of mine may be a temporary thing. Before, he had thought of himself as Kanon and no one else, but he remembered. There definitely had been another self that wasn't Kanon, and that was far, far away beyond the distant fog of oblivion. So even for you, it should be okay to have times when you're Kanon and times when you're aren't. Maybe when you act as a servant, the time that Kanon calls himself furniture and strictly limits his own will. But when you aren't Kanon, I think it's okay to live much, much more freely. Those words definitely weren't just lip service. Jessica had also been like this in the past. She had cursed her own birth into an environment different from all of her friends at school. Only she had been in a heavily constricted environment, forced to learn all sorts of things. And she had even been told whom she was and wasn't allowed to play with. It may have been sad, but she'd given up, resigning herself to the fact that she'd been born under that kind of star. But one day, Jessica stopped giving up and surrendering. Stuff like Ushirimiya family customs and pressure didn't matter. She created a real Jessica inside herself, one who could do what she really wanted to do. You know, I go by the nickname Jessie at school. When I'm Jessie, I live life honestly to the fullest. And because of that, I can do my best when I'm Jessica too. Would it really be so bad if you could also have times when you're Kanon and times where you're your real name? When you aren't Kanon, can't you try becoming another self that you can like? A time when I'm not Kanon. He'd once thought his real name as being completely meaningless. Because of that, he thought that Kanon summed up everything about him. And now, Jessica was telling him to create something new. Another self that wasn't Kanon. If you don't mind, tell me, what's your real name? He was silent for quite some time. Maybe Kanon's real name had risen to the tip of his tongue. After hesitating for a long time over whether he should say it, in the end, he swallowed it back down. No! I forgot. My name doesn't matter anymore. Those words contained a faint rejection. No matter what kind of real name I had, the only truth now is that here I'm Kanon. The past has nothing to do with anything. The materials with which furniture are made, be it a trunk of a tree or otherwise, are meaningless in the end. I told you to stop that! You aren't furniture, you're human, right? I am not human! Kanon clearly voiced his refusal. It was with a rage that he normally didn't show. Jessica couldn't say anything back and was struck silent. You are human, milady. So you are free to live any way you please. And any kind of future is possible for you. It's almost like you have wings that can dance through the sky like a bird. But I'm not like that. Even if I looked like a bird, I'd be nothing more than a domestic duck. Even though they have wings, they cannot fly. To speak to me of that dream in the sky despite that, it's just too cruel. Furniture and ducks. What the hell is all this? No. Jessica had unconsciously gone along with Kanon's forceful manner of speaking, but she realized that she shouldn't fire back and swallowed her words. I don't know anything about you. I don't even know your upbringing, and I don't know the hardships you've been through. So I can't even imagine why you started calling yourself furniture. But know this, you aren't furniture or a duck. You're a real human. If you want to say Kanon's furniture when he's working as a servant, that's fine. But in that case, don't you think you can create a self for when you aren't furniture, for when you're human? Only a human like my lady can embrace that possibility. I'm not like that. I have no future, no possibilities, no dream that I'm allowed to see. So my lady, please don't say any more cruel things. Why? Why do you say stuff like that? Because it seems you mistakenly think I'm a human, the same as you, milady. We're different sorts of beings. I just wanted to make that clear. I heard from Shannon. Something about Milady
僕の
liking
ことを
me.
お気に入りになられているとか。
Shannon, why the fuck would you say that? Shannon, why the fuck would you say that? Huh? What? No.
僕は人間に限りな
I
く
look
近い
almost
姿をして
identical
い
to
ま
a
す
human.
だから
So,
シャノン
like Shannon, I could probably delude myself into thinking I'm human and pretend to love for a time.
でも
But then I would surely be fooling myself. No,
お嬢様
I
を
would be
騙す
fooling you too, milady.
シャノンとジョージ様
Shannon and George will definitely fall
必ず
apart.
その日が訪れる
Even though Shannon herself probably realizes that day will come. She's taking part in such a stupid... There's nothing stupid about it. Sure, George is a wonderful person, and he's gotta match up to his parents' expectations. I'm sure when it comes to marriage, Aunt Ava will interfere in various ways, and I think their future prospects look like they'll be full of trouble, okay? But you know what? George isn't the kind of guy who'll surrender to that shit. Shauna's no Juliet, and he'll definitely bring her happiness.
人は家具と恋などできない
People cannot engage in romance with furniture. Say that to my washing machine. Now is not the time for jokes. This is starting to seem like a Marvel Cinematic Universe movie. Jokes at inappropriate times.
お嬢様が家具を愛
What
す
I'm
る
trying to say is that even if you can love furniture, I cannot love you, my lady.
できないと
Those words of Kanon's crushed all of Jessica's bittersweet feelings from that day. There was no way her emotions could have predicted that she'd be refused so bluntly. In an instant, she lost the willpower that had led her to try to unravel something stubborn in Kanon's heart. And before she knew it, she was just standing there in shock.
お嬢様が僕に
Milady,
好かれているという
if your feelings for me were due to my conceit,
僕
then
の
I must
思い
ask that you
に
forgive
戻る
me.
なら
No. Well, I won't deny that.
ありがとうございます
Thank you very much.
僕を人間だと思って
Thank
く
you
れて
very much
ありがとうございま
for
す
thinking of me as a human.
そのお気持ちだけで
Those feelings alone really do make me
僕は
happy.
そして
Anything more would be too cruel for me, so.
僕には残酷
No. I've said enough. Sorry about that. Jessica recklessly scratched at her head and spoke, trying to force her voice to sound bright. I just kinda ran on ahead by myself and was a burden on you. I'm really sorry. I'm sorry for causing so much trouble on your precious day off.
いえ
No,
僕も
I was also
楽しそうなお嬢様が
happy
見
that
ら
I
れ
could
て
see you having
嬉しかった
fun.
です
Then let's call it a night. If I don't go back to my room and turn off the lights, Mom will get mad at me again.
そうされた方がよろ
That's
しいでしょ
probably
う
for the best.
おやすみなさいませ
I wish you a good night, my
お嬢
lady.
様
Yeah. Good night. Kanon saw Jessica trot away with her back to him, looking disheartened. But then she suddenly broke into a reckless dash and disappeared in the direction of the mansion. And as he watched her back for just an instant, Kanon was tormented by the feeling that he just made a huge mistake. But he hadn't made a mistake at all. He'd been forced to refuse her now for her sake, while the pain was still at its smallest.
女を泣かせるとはなかな
Nice
かや
going.
るではないか。
Making a woman cry like that?
お前がそこまで拒絶するとは意外。普通に受け答えしていれば、わらわの魔法で二組目の恋人たちが生まれていたものを。
Okay, I'm lost. Okay. If you'd given a normal answer, another pair of lovers would have been born thanks to my magic. That's my goat.
いつからそこに
How long have you been there?
最低なやつだ
What a horrible person. When he turned around, the witch was suddenly there. It looked like she'd been there the whole time, watching the two of them as though enjoying a play. I shall forgive you for your insults just this once in deference to that amusing little show. Even after 1,000 years, no more interesting show exists in the complications between boys and girls. To me, it's a pleasure that's better and more addicting than opium. She fuck with Cardi? Kanon pulled the butterfly brooch out of his pocket. It was the manifestation of the great magic the witch had bestowed. Without hesitation, Kanon slammed it against the ground and stomped on it. What is the meaning of this? You know that was given by me.
今
Just now I figured it
お
out.
前がしているの
What you're doing isn't as tasteful as being a cupid of love.
お前は
You're just a demon who enjoys showing love to those who can never be together,
恋を見せ
deceiving them.
たぶらかして
You're free to think that. Most humans I lend my power to say the same thing.
ほうけるな
Don't play dumb!
お前は
You didn't lend shine on your power because you felt sorry for her.
胸を壊
You
す
found a weak point in her heart as her chest burned with love and made her break the mirror that sealed you.
しかもそれだけじゃない
What's more,
その末路まで
you
そう
guessed how this would all end and now you're toying with her.
違うか
Am I wrong? Furniture has a thoroughly pitiful existence. So you have no dreams, no future, and even no love. Good, good. There's nothing better than knowing your place. As you noticed, there was a faint love residing in Jessica's heart. You seem to think you've snipped it in the bud. But did you know? Trees grow thicker branches if you thin out and prune them. A girl who loves furniture, is it? Amusing. How truly amusing! Shannon and George will also eventually reach a stalemate with their unfulfillable love, ripening in the sort of large fruit I love. However, regretfully, it seems to be going so smoothly for those two that it's hardly entertaining anymore. But on the plus side, it seems that the two of you will amuse me to no end. The witch laughed. Even though she had known the two could never be together, she had lent magic to bring them together. However, they couldn't escape the fate that prevented them from ever being truly joined. The witch knew that. Even if they were joined, Shannon and George, Kanon and Jessica would eventually break up. They would wander through an endless desert in this hell of love, tormented by an eternal thirst. What did you think? I'd lend you my power and ask for nothing in exchange? I'll gladly assist a pair in love. And in exchange, I'll enjoy watching the cruel fate they'll eventually meet. I've never come across a better show, not over the course of 1,000 years. Just look at Kenzo. See how he ended up? An old, pitiful man who learned the taste of love before being thrown out of paradise? Look at how he lives. Like a dead man that cannot fully die. Dang, Beatrice! That's kind of fucked up.
やはりお前
You
は
truly are a witch.
消えて失せ
Disappear.
この悪
Get out of my sight, demon! Oh, I would disappear even without your prompting. My power still hasn't returned. It is so tiring to continue showing myself. I overdid it when I gave you lovers my power. As I am now, it will not be easy to maintain that power without that brooch the catalyst. Kanon ground his foot even more into the stomped brooch. He felt it break under his foot, then it evaporated like water. And changed into butterflies that sparkled gold, fluttering out from beneath Kanon's foot. Maintaining this form is quite painful for me as well. I will hide myself for a time just as you desire. My magical power will rise as surely as the moon in the tides. And eventually a fitting time will come for my revival. I know not in the slightest whether that will be tomorrow, next year, even 100 or 1,000 years in the future. But as long as there are those who entertain me, I will surely gain power and revive. I will disappear for a short while until that time comes. The bruise on the palm of your hand is already gone. So if you wish, tomorrow morning you can let my existence vanish like an illusion or a dream. After all, nothing saddens me more than being forgotten. However, I will surely be revived. Be on your guard so that you will not regret that day's coming when it arrives. I will surely have my second coming and rule over everything on this island's true master. That is the time when the door to the golden land will be opened again. That is the time when the door to the golden land will be opened again. The greedy dead will surely wake me. You talk too much! Disappear now, golden witch! Girls performing an exorcism. Be gone, foul demon! Oh. The witch became a cloud of butterflies and scattered away, leaving behind a scornful laugh. The whole area sparkled like a gold blizzard in a snow globe. It was a fleeting, fantastical scene that disappeared in a heartbeat. The witch could no longer be seen. However, Kanon felt that he could still hear that shrill, unpleasant laugh. Ah, how amusing, how truly amusing. Why is the human world still so amusing after all the years I've been away? Go mad with love. Go mad with gold. Those who don't go mad for one of the two are not human. I see, so that's why the word furniture is so fitting. Furniture is created to serve humans. And I cruelly treat humans as playthings to save my 1,000 years of boredom. What a truly amusing three-way deadlock that I cannot control furniture. Kenzo, you fool! What a truly entertaining scheme you've worked out. Furniture, you fools. Just you try and see if you can fell me. Tonight, 2 seeds of love have been sown, including one already sown. That makes 3. Beatrice! Why did you leave me alone in this painful world? I hate you! I will hate you for all eternity for not even trying to answer despite being yearned for so. Hop off of her nuts! Master, drinking any more will be damaging to your health. Dr. Nanjo warned you as well, did he not? Be silent, Genji! You do not understand! You do not understand my grief and sadness! And I believed at least you, my oldest friend, would understand my pain! Why can't you understand? Oh! Beatrice! Why did you leave me all alone? Genji's like, oh my goodness, I'm sick of this nigga. And yes, Genji did indeed say nigga. He said that word specifically. Matter of fact, he said nigger. That's what he said. What the hell do you mean furniture? I don't get it! Ah! It's crazy, man. That's crazy. Oh, poor Jessica. Even though the cries I hear coming from your room tell me of the situation, there's nothing I can do. This is all a tragedy due to a pair who are too young. Getting too close when the positions of their birth are too distant. I can do nothing but understand my lady's feelings. Hide my footsteps and quietly walk away. That's crazy. Dang, the chapter's still going? What? What do you mean by that? George? I mean what I said. I still haven't built up my castle. Once I manage to do that, I'll finally be able to think of myself as an adult.
その時
When that happens, I want to
君
marry
と
you.
結婚したい。
それは
That's
でもそれじゃ
but
もう僕の心
my
が
heart
許せ
won't
な
let
い。
me do that anymore.
だから
So I want to give you an engagement
婚
ring.
約指輪を送る。
Engagement?
ですか。
You say.
でもその
But
私
I am
家具ですし。
furniture.
そうだったね。
Oh right, that.
じゃ
Well
あ家
then,
具は人の
furniture
言う
has
こ
to
とを
listen
聞
to
か
what
ないで
people say, right? Dang.
今
Right
君
now
の
I'm
贈る
having a
のに
ring
ふさ
made
わし
that'll
い
be
指輪
fitting
を
for
作
you.
る。多分今度
I
の
think
親
it'll be
族
ready
会議
in
の日
time for
に
me to bring it to
持って
the
いけると思
upcoming
う。
family conference.
その時に送るから
I'll give it to you
どうか
then, so please, I
君
want
の
to
返
hear
事を
your
聞か
answer.
せてほしいんだ。君が
If
僕
you
の
accept,
僕はその席で
then I'll proclaim our engagement right there, in front of all the relatives, including
君
grandfather.
との婚約をせ
George, so is this supposed to be like a prequel, or like this is what happened before chapter 1 or episode 1? Is that what this is? That's what this whole episode is? George,
君と僕の仲を
I'm sure some want to approve of our relationship,
でも
but there's no need to
そい
look
つ
at
ら
their
の顔を見る
faces
君は
because you only have to you only have to fill your eyes with me. Hold on, George got game.
君を
I will definitely
必
bring you
ずしそれ
happiness.
だけは
That's the one thing I can promise you with certainty. Y'all cursed, bro. It ain't happening. I'm sorry. So that's what. It was doomed from the start. Oh, that's Beatrice. It was doomed from the
どのよ
start.
うに実るのか楽しみでならない。
So that's crazy. That's what episode. So that's what episode 1 was. Okay, so Beatrice let all these feelings build up. Like she had Kanon thinking about shit, and Jessica like getting desperate over bro, and she had basically solidified George and Shannon, so that when it was time for her to revive and she just started killing niggas, she got to see like just how wicked everything got when they lost the people they cared about. Beatrice, that's fucked up. I just can't wait to see how it will ripen.
憂に過ぎて
The gold butterflies do not swoop upon the juice of the overripe and rotting fruit.
今より収
I
穫
cannot wait for the day of harvest to come. Is the time of the banquet here yet?
まだか。
That evil laughter. Ah man, the glass breaking. I love that. I love it when the glass breaks. Reminds me of Stone Cold Steve Austin. Beatrice. First day, October. What is this? The first day? What does that mean? Oh crap! I don't know how to. I don't know if I like the way that sounds. First day. That sounds kind of scary. It makes me feel like something really crazy is going to happen. Well, yes, something crazy is going to happen. But it's very scary. Very scary. That's the end of the episode. Hope y'all enjoyed. Like, subscribe, leave a comment, read them up. Jump into the next one. Holy crap! Oh my goodness. See, I really like this chapter because it's getting straight to the business immediately. Like they're jumping straight into the craziness, right? Like not chapter 1, episode 1, it took a while and it took some building up before we even got to the murders and shit. But in this one, like episode 1, Beatrice was already popping up like, hey, how y'all doing? How's it going? You know, slice of life type shit, you know, y'all wanna fall in love, I got you, I got that magic shit, you know, I'm with you, know how it goes. So it's really interesting. I'm liking this a lot. Peace out, love y'all.